Okay, hey friends, if you follow me across multiple platforms, then you might be seeing this background for a little bit here. I really have been enjoying the light, and I wanted to sit down today and kind of chat with you, tell you where my head's at with things, and update you on a few things, but this essentially will kind of be a talking head video and a day in the life, and we'll go from there. So grab your beverage of choice. Today it is 10 a.m. So yes, or no, it's 11 a.m. So I have a Spindrift and I'm enjoying the, what is it? Passion fruit. It is, the island. Yeah, it's the island punch flavor. I've really been enjoying that. So how are you? Let me know in the comments. Good to see you. If you're new here, hi, hello. My name is Tori. I am a wife, mother to 4. I stay at home. I share my life, essentially, where I'm at, and I share it realistically. So I'm a very type B mom, but I'm trying my best to kind of get myself into an organization, not to transform into a type A mom, but I find that routines, organization, and less clutter is really helpful for myself and my family. So yeah, my husband and I we're from Pennsylvania, lived in Colorado for 12 years, and then we moved back recently, last year actually, just to be near family and to raise our kids in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like frugal living, realistic mom life, and all that, please hit that subscribe button. I've been trying to grow this channel for a very long time, and we've built a community. It's not very large, which I feel like is intended for me and my brain, but everyone's so kind here, and it's just really beautiful. So let's get into it. So we're going to talk about what happened last night and today, and I'm going to smile through it. If you're new to me, that's just how I process things. But to be quite honest, quite frank, I said this on social media and I didn't realize it was such a shock. And then I said it to my husband, and he also was kind of shocked, I guess. But I've been tracking my sleep, and on average, I've been getting about 4.5 hours of sleep per day, I guess. And that's a problem. The recommendation is 8 to 10. I feel like sleep contributes to so many different things. And if you're new to me, I've been sick for a while. Just every single illness you can catch, I've caught it. And I feel like that has been such a constant in my life. I feel like, that really contributed to it. So saying that out loud made me get the realization that it's not normal. So I am postpartum with my 4th child. Our 4th baby is a sweetheart. He loves his mama, and I think it's great, but we're finding it to be a challenge, and everyone's going to have their opinion on this. This is how I'm living my life. I don't judge anybody of living their life a different way, so please don't come down on me with the judgment. But we are a co-sleeping family, so sleep training, we have tried it. Actually, we are pretty open-minded people, so we try a lot of different things, and we've tried sleep training. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for my mind, my husband, or our babies, and I've done deep research on it, and what aligns with us is co-sleeping. And before anyone freaks out, I really do think that there needs to be deeper research into these subjects before we go and be accusatory or judgmental. So putting that out there, we are a co-sleeping family. I'm also breastfeeding my child, so that contributes, and things throughout the day. So like overstimulation can be a big thing. I do not follow certain schedules for infants. I don't know, little bit that I do, but I just feel like doing things in the wake windows is an issue for me. We can't stay on that schedule because they're so unpredictable. So I just go with what that baby wants. So baby led everything, so he's going to be 7 months here, which is so exciting, but so sad. I don't know. I feel like the time has just gone by so fast. So we are getting into foods, and everyone has their, opinions on foods, but we try and lean towards the ancestral diet, but with a combo of the whole foods diet, if that makes sense. We do baby-led weaning, so we don't do many purees, but sometimes we do. It really depends on what we're doing. Moral of the story, with babies, we just don't feed them junk food. We don't try and feed them processed food. And we also don't feed them fast food like, McDonald's and all that. I've once said that in a mom group. We went around a circle and they said, the opening was, what's your child's favorite Happy Meal? And I thought it was funny because I was in Colorado and as a Pennsylvanian, that was like a big, like the health capital of the world. But that was the opening thing. What's your kid's, not baby, but which kid's favorite McDonald's meal? And I had my child with me, and it was Wilder, and he didn't know what McDonald's was, first of all. And I'm not saying that as a flex. It's just, it was really odd to me. So, I don't say that to be condescending. I don't say that to be, to look down on people. I'm a kid that had McDonald's as a child, and I turned out pretty decent. I don't know, maybe my mom and dad could say something different, but I don't know. Moral of the story, for food, we don't do fast food, and I'm not saying that in a condescending tone. So I said it just now. I probably will go throughout the whole video, and if you find something that is offensive, I encourage you to get to know my heart a little more and know that that's not my intention. So anyways, food contributes to the sleep and everything throughout the day. So we are trying to find our balance. Today, I asked my husband if he could maybe take the kids for a long car ride. And this is our fourth baby. This is, I'm 7 months postpartum. And to me, I never complain about my husband. We playfully joke around with each other. And he was raised well by two great people. And, I truly do think it's a man thing, just not to... I always hesitate saying things because people, how they are. I'm going to try and go through the video and do this. But I think it's a man thing that they just don't know how to ask, or they don't know. Some men, at least, don't know, what to do to help. So they do their own things to help in their own way, which is great. I love that he's productive, but it did bother me that I had to ask. And, I sat down there and I talked to him about it instead of sitting here and letting all of this resentment occur. And I feel like that needs to be said out loud because it's taken a long time. We've been together for going on 16 years. And I let resentment build up a lot. And I do that with multiple relationships, not just him, without saying anything, because I feel like I'm a people pleaser. And to me, in my 35 years of life now, I think I'm 35. Sometimes I forget. I'm just learning that about myself, and I'm learning about people pleasing and how that contributes to negative health effects. I honestly think it goes into being in this state of fight or flight. It connects to my anxiety. It connects to my cortisol. It connects to triggering autoimmune issues, which I feel like I'm in right now. So yeah, all that being said, I've been really trying to be more vocal, but in a positive way, just a kind communicator, because sometimes I can be mean, low-key mean, is what some people call me. So I don't know. I said that to him and he was like, yeah, sure. And I sat down with him and I'm like, I don't know why that's taken me so long to ask you that. I just think that's so silly of me. So naturally, I'm sitting down and talking to you during that time. So with all that being said, sleep-related issues have been such an issue, and it leans into many things in my life, but content creation, and that's what I do for a job now, which is really great, but I've been finding it really hard to get content out that's like visually nice, when myself is together, when things are quiet, and it's been a challenge. So I've been exploring batch content for a long time. If you're new to all this, batch content is when you film a ton of stuff, when you have this like open window, and then you do the legwork later, like the back end editing and computer work at a later time. So I feel like that's what I'm going to start doing. And if you're new to me, I do Amazon review videos, which I really have been loving. I went like hard on it at the end of December, and I've been seeing a great return. And it's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight, just like every venture that I have. But if I stick to it, I really do think that this is the best way to make money from home as a stay-at-home mom in my situation. My husband, if again, you're new here, works in law enforcement. So his hours are different every single day, every single week. And I can't go out of the home to a job because I can't tell an employee. I'm not a dependable employee because I don't know my schedule, if that makes sense. So I have found in the last 7 years of trying to make this work, the one thing in the last few months that actually is working, that I enjoy. Honestly, I think it's lucrative and I think everyone should do it. I probably shouldn't tell anybody about it because you never know if Amazon's gonna shut it down or whatnot. So yeah, I've been doing that and I've been really loving it. The videos that I make are like 1 to 2 minutes long. Some companies will ask you to do longer videos or more in-depth videos. Sometimes they want your face in it. Sometimes they just want a demonstration, but I'm treating it as a job. So I'm trying to put myself together, be professional, research the product before I review it, and then go from there. So with that, this batch content is me on this channel and then me doing Amazon videos. And then if you're new to me, I do have another channel and that's all about preparedness and frugal living and motherhood. But it's more geared towards how to do that and not like the day-to-day. So I just try and do tips and tricks for, being more self-sufficient over there. So if you like that kind of thing, you can head on over there. It's a larger community. Some people, it's positive like 99% of the time, but there's some people in there that are like diehard preppers that can be a little blunt. You just have to roll with the punches, you have to know that personality and accept that tone on the internet can be taken so out of what they were intentionally trying to say. So anyways, with the batch content, I think that this is going to work for us where we are talking about, like him taking the kids out for like 2 hours a week or maybe even multiple times, and then I can get things going. Amazon review videos can be a passive form of income. It is for me, but if I get this going, if I get the ball rolling and I get multiple videos up, I think I can eventually not back off from it, but just have some time to not be all over the place and work on my sleep. And if you're new here, wellness and health is like everything to me. So I find it, I'm like stuck. I'm stuck in this little, not rut, but I have a problem. I'm stuck in a pickle because I want to take my health seriously for my children and for my own sake, for my husband's sake, all that. But I also need to make money, and I finally found something that will. So yeah, my number one job during the day is to keep my kids healthy, keep them not entertained, but make sure they're growing up in a positive environment, because I feel like it's such a great thing to do for a child and their future. We also homeschool. My oldest son, chose a different route this year, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we can go back to homeschooling. It is, going to be honest with you, a bit of a challenge to homeschool with my son. He is very like me, and I do think he benefits from being away from me. I know that's sad to say. I feel like that's shocking to say out loud, but maybe someone can connect out there. All of us, all of the kids and I need a break from each other. I think that's healthy. So I really want him to go to this forest school. I think he would really enjoy it. And then my daughter, Delilah, really wants to go to a farm school. They focus on growing crops and animals, and she's all about that. She's like me. She loves that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that that's the route that we take. Both of those things cost money, so it's a little challenging. Since being back to Pennsylvania, it's been a challenge to make friends, but recently I've made some friends, and it's just, it's a godsend, honestly. It's just so nice to have that relationship with another woman, a female that shares the same values, and you know who you are if you're watching this, and it's just pretty incredible to have that connection. So I don't know. So things are looking up, and that's what I kind of came on here to talk about. But you might see some different things, like these batch video contents where I take one day out of the week and chat with you about it all. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but I don't make too much content there. I love taking pictures, so that's what I try and do. But Instagram and Facebook, they're not into that. And reels for me, unfortunately, reels on Instagram, like if you have a 10-second reel, that's going to do great. But if you have anything longer, people lose interest because they're attacking our minds. If you're new to me, you'll have to watch some of my videos. I have been called a conspiracy theorist in my day, but I just think they're real things that are happening. So I don't know. I'm not really on there that much. I like being on there and looking at things, but it's just not for me. I feel like it's a time waster. It is nice to connect with some people on there, but I don't want to doom scroll. I just don't. And there's so much information out there. And if I see an article, I'm immediately like, oh my goodness. And then I go into a deep dive. And I'm just one of those girls who research many topics. I'm not an expert on any of them, but I guess I know a lot about many topics, but I don't know it to an extent. So like I know a lot about gardening, but I'm not a master gardener. So I don't know. It's just been, a challenge, and I wanted to sit down and talk to you. So my goal for this video is to fill you in on postpartum, what's been happening, and what the future holds, because hopefully we can get this going. In the last video, I was talking about the garden beds and feeling overwhelmed. And someone, I think, said, take it day by day. It doesn't have to all get done. And I constantly have to remind myself. So thank you for that. And it's so on YouTube, some of you don't have your names on there or your faces. So someone's going to say, poor YouTuber, but I connect with a lot of my audience, and I talk to you, and I just wish, I could be talking to you in person, or maybe I'd know a little bit more about you. So, and also I want to protect your privacy. So if I'm mentioning you out loud right now, I don't want to call out your handle or your name, because I don't know if you want to be known, if that makes sense. So I don't know. If ever I say that, just know that I read the comments, and I feel like I can brag about myself with this, but I'm good at remembering people. That was my good thing when I was a teacher back in the day, if you didn't know that. And I was an art teacher, so I had 500 students on my caseload, and I feel like that's how I got the job with my principal. I said I can remember names really well. I can remember all of them. My parents were both very personable people, and we lived in a small town, and both sides had a large family. So I contribute that to that connection with humans in a positive way kind of situation. So I remember you. I remember your comments. I know a lot of you have been here for a long time. So just know that. I know I can remember things about where you're from or what you were struggling with. So just know I'm not generically answering. I've seen that before on other YouTube channels, and I just think it's lame, or they have someone else answering for them, which, if you get big enough, I guess that's the route that you have to take. But I genuinely value this community. That was the whole point of starting YouTube. So yeah, just know that I really do enjoy our connections, and it's helpful in motherhood for sure. And that's why I sit down and chat with you. So for those of you that stuck around and listened to me, thank you. I appreciate you. For those of you that just got here, I do like to talk a lot when I get the chance, because there's a lot of times I don't. So yeah, I'm going to close it out here. I'm going to batch some content that I showed you on the table. Like I said, I just randomly grabbed whatever I could that I knew would probably be on Amazon. That's the great thing. A lot of things are on Amazon. So you just go for it. And if it's not, then there's 45 seconds of your day that you filmed and you just delete it. So I'm going to do that. I have another video to film on the other channel, and then I'm going to try and clean. I cleaned up a lot today. My husband was trying to help, and he just did a ton of laundry. So that's great. That's very helpful. He did not use my detergent that I made, which is fine. But I have that. So that's really helpful during the day. He does things like that, which is really nice. I know a lot of people don't have that, or maybe they have a different issue at home with their significant other. And I wouldn't necessarily, that's the dryer. I wouldn't necessarily call it an issue, but you know, we all have our relationship things, and I never want to come on here and complain about mine, or talk badly about my spouse who doesn't even have social media. So anyways, all that to say, I have some things done. I've vacuumed today, we've done the dishes, and the kids will maybe have a nap, and I could get some dinner started. So I think I'll do that first, get some dinner in the crock pot, film a few videos, and go from there. So yes, thank you for being here. If you have any questions about Amazon, a lot of people sell a course about it. I have been asked if I could sell a course, and honestly, I don't think I can do it, simply because some people could take the whole course, apply everything that I said, and still not make it. Or maybe they don't want to make this a full-time thing and they don't give it all their effort and it doesn't work for them. I don't want the negative review or the negative communication saying, this didn't work, how dare you? And that's why I don't sell courses. That's why I don't sell things, because people take advantage of people like me and my personality, and you know, they want their money back, or they want they want something that isn't attainable. You know, they want to put in low effort and achieve nothing. And I feel like it's just not for me. So for those of you that have asked me about it and I've given you information, I always tag a girl. I think she's super sweet. She's younger than me and she gives good information and it's honest. I've seen a lot of people try and trick people with this business. So if you have questions, just let me know and I will drop her handle to you, and I'll give you all the information I can. There's a lot of information when it comes to the Amazon influencer program, but I will say you do not need a lot of followers to get into this program. A lot of people get in through TikTok and some of them have like 10 followers. You just have to have an active social site that you're posting to and engaging with. You don't need to have anything viral. I mean, look at my numbers. I'm low. I'm a low subscriber count. I'm a low everything across the board with content creation. And hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully maybe it will stay that way, because I don't think my brain could handle it. So I like our tiny community. But anyways, I'm going to close it out. Like I said, if you have any questions, I will try and answer them. Thank you for being here. I hope you are well wherever you are, and I will catch you soon. Bye, y'all.